What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. It is Friday night. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm here with my boy Mike, whichever way you are. How's it going, Mike?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Doing good, man. And I'll let you introduce our special guest tonight. Go right ahead,
Oh,
man.
yes. We got, of course, the award-winning Fantasy Alarm Show host of the Fantasy Alarm Show, VP of Operations of the head of fantasyalarm.com. One, he is one of the leading websites, best content, research tools, and all that stuff at Fantasy Alarm. He's also featured year-round a writer for the New York Post. He's also on Sirius XM Radio, Channel 87, Monday through Friday, uh, 6 to 8 Eastern. So make sure you guys check him out. It is the one and only Howard Bender, the RotoBuzz guy. I love this guy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, Mike. Rasta, good to be here with you guys, man. It was very psyched to get the invite and get a chance to like throw down in a legit mock, not just like a best ball draft that everybody's doing.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it is. Redraft season is upon us. We're just like a few weeks away from actual like some preseason football coming around the corner here. So I
Yes,
couldn't get
sir.
any more excited, man. I'm ready. Friday Night
Yeah.
Mocks is here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys in the room ready to go. So I'm going to start us off. We got myself at the 3, and then we got Rasta in the 9 with Howard in the 10. We'll get to introduce everybody in a couple seconds. So let's get them started.
Absolutely.
All right. We are off and away, and wow, already quick. And
Ooh, that was quick.
of course, Wilson, nice and quick. We need to say thank you to Wilson. Wilson actually has helped out a lot and reached out to Howard for us and got us connected. So I really appreciate him for that. Wilson's one of our ambassadors who is just fantastic in all shape, ways, and forms. So thank you so much for getting us Howard. So Howard,
So I got bought for Jonathan Taylor. Is that what it is right now? I basically just got traded for JT. Wilson gets Jonathan Taylor with the first pick of the draft, and you guys get stuck listening to me yammer on for a couple hours.
hey man,
It was a fair trade off, you know.
I
fair
love the trade.
Very nice. And so yeah, we got Jonathan Taylor at the 1. We got McCaffrey here at the 2, and then Eckler goes at the 3.
Yes, sir.
And I think we were kind of just talking about this, how our our rankings for those top 3 are kind of different. So
yeah. I mean, right now, from what I can tell, me and Howard have the exact same number 1 and number 2. We go JT and Eckler, which I mean I love, but Ant is Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. So right now you're looking at Derrick Henry being your pick. It could happen.
Yeah, and this is where I just kind of got to decide, what I want to do, what type of build I want to go with. Because there's a chance Chase even falls to me here.
Nope.
So he goes with Henry. So look at that. Mike's watching. So that kind of forces me, man. I don't think I can pass up on Chase there. I do like Mixon, after that. But I think I'm going Jamar Chase. So what would you do? Well, I guess you're right there too, right after me here, Howard. So if
I gotta tell you, man, I'm super stoked to be getting Joe Mixon here. I am, listen, it's the Bengals offense, right? I mean, how great is it just to get a part of it? I don't care if it's Tyler Boyd, for crying out loud. I mean, it's a high flying offense. The guys are doing well, and I mean, listen, they set up the run with the pass. So
Agreed.
Joe Mixon's going to get those touches as soon as the Bengals start grabbing that lead. Yeah, I'm bullish on him, but I mean, you can't go wrong with Chase. How good is he?
Yeah.
I'll take him. Good. We were just kind of talking before you got on. I had Chase in my championship game against my co-host, my brother-in-law, in our home league, and he had Amon-Ra St. Brown, and so it was just a back and forth between Chase and Amon-Ra for the championship game, and I nearly pulled it out by just a couple points. So it was a nail biter, man. But I love those kind of guys, man. Give me those upside guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'm high on Mixon too for the exact same reasons. They built that lineup. They did everything they could in free agency to make sure, he's set to have a better year. I mean, he was running back free with a crap line. I mean, his line was it was almost borderline the Giants line last year. I mean, Giants were probably 32 and they were probably 31. So, I mean, it was bad. And they really revamped that middle of the, they definitely did the middle and that outside with Leo Collins. So I'm really excited to see what they do this year on, not just passing the ball, but also running it. I'm really big on him. And also, see, this looks very, Ross, what does this look like to you on Howard's team?
Yeah,
is this a team that I would,
that's literally your exact start. For Mike's first, probably the first 6 teams you mocked,
if not
it seemed
more.
like, or more than that. That was the running back duo he was coming out with.
Always. So how do you feel, Howard? How do you feel about the situation over there in Denver? We understand that, we keep hearing talk of Javonte Williams. He's going to be splitting carries with Melvin Gordon. And, it kind of, for everybody, it hurts his value. I don't feel that way, but how do you, I mean, you don't feel that way either, I guess, because in this case you have him at 6, or 7. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you take a look at the system. So, I mean, listen, this isn't the old Denver Broncos, right? Now, this is, Nathaniel Hackett comes over as the head coach. He brings old tight ends coach Luke Getsy over with him as the offensive coordinator. They're gonna run that, that system. It's not going to be identical to the Green Bay system, but they're going to implement a lot of the factors there with some West Coast passing that they want to do. But one of the important things that they the changes that they made is that they want to move to an outside zone running system.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the scheme that they want to run there. And outside zone, whether you do outside zone or you line up wide zone and try and stretch the defense horizontally a little bit, it caters more towards Javonte Williams than it does Melvin Gordon. When was the last time you saw Melvin Gordon beat an edge rusher to turn the corner and zip up field? For the same token, line up in wide zone. You got to be able to cut back immediately and dart. And Gordon just doesn't have that, right? He doesn't have that in him anymore. So, this whole scheme favors Javonte Williams so much more, including all the RPO work that they're going to start doing there with Russell Wilson. I mean, I love what they've got going on here especially because dealing with what Denver's been dealing with, right? I mean, what was it? Pat Shurmur was and Vic Fangio. I mean, it was like,
hey, come on, you're talking to the good old Giants fan that dealt with Pat Shurmur for 2 years that he was there.
Right? It's like a snooze fest of an offense. Like you could not get more vanilla of an offense than anything that Pat Shurmur tries to do.
Well, Jason Garrett, but I won't say anything else. We don't have Cowboys fans here. I mean, our other two co-hosts and friends of the friends of our channel that are always a part of this, Fish and Frank and Dustin. They are the two Cowboys fans of the group, so we get to hear it too much. So I'm going with Leonard Fournette here, and
wow,
I'm just gonna get this out real quick. We heard all the fat stuff. We heard the whole thing in camp. 260. Now he's 245. He's good weight. Whatever. Everything's fine and dandy again. They just lost. If people don't already know, the last few days, I think yesterday, Ryan Jensen, their Pro Bowl center, went down with a really bad knee injury. If you haven't seen it yet, it actually looks really worse than it's been talked about. He went down with a really bad major injury. It looks like it could be a torn ACL. So that's a big part of their line. They also lost Marpet before he retired. And I think Kappa is their right guard who's no longer there either. So they don't have anybody in the middle anymore. Now, I understand that I picked Fournette. I don't know if it's a bad move or not. Do you think that this is a significant move, like a significant injury there, Howard, like where this could affect the whole offense as a whole?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, in all honesty, like I was very much in on Leonard Fournette earlier on because I mean, listen, I know that they lost Marpet and there was some movement there on the line, but this was all before the Jensen injury.
Agreed.
And I didn't care about the Leonard Fournette, the fat stuff because it was actually kind of funny. I don't know if you guys saw him tweet out.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Photoshop, picture. I mean, I was like, dude, I love him now, right?
Yeah.
But losing Jensen, I mean, that's a linchpin right there on the offensive line. So to lose both guards, right, and to like move guys around, and then your center on top of it.
Yeah.
Like it was funny when the Falcons, the year that the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, and obviously lost to the Patriots because they hate me. Right, dude. Because what happened was during the preseason when the Falcons signed Alex Mack.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, and I said it on friggin' Sirius too. I was like, the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl this year. The Falcons are winning the Super Bowl because Alex Mack was the final piece to the puzzle of their offensive line, and Matt Ryan is finally going to have the protection that he legit needs. And, this is going to be a great year, right? I put freaking money on it in Vegas at like crazy long shot odds, and it was just a dream there. But I mean, like the offensive line, like that's the thing, when you have a guy like Alex Mack or when you have a guy like Brian Jensen, it really does fortify that line. And I'm very worried because Brady didn't want to throw 700 times again this year. He wanted to hand the ball off to Fournette.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I've been in the exact same thought process as you when it comes to this. I'm a very big fan of making sure your old line is, it is significant. I mean, Jensen did a great job last year and played through a lot of injuries. And actually, there were many times that he was out for a game or two because of some, ailment or, whatever. But I can completely agree with you because I don't know if you remember when the Saints had Max Unger and he went over there and, from Seattle.
That trade. It was that ruin that transformed both O-lines.
And that was the whole point. It literally fixed the Saints and hurt Russell Wilson, and it was a huge deal. And it's the same thing happened with the Cowboys when they lost Travis Frederickson. I mean, that was a huge, huge loss to their line. The center is the linchpin. Now, as Rafi's saying right here, as he's saying now Ryan Kelly, and place bets on the Colts. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad move. I like Ryan Kelly. No, Ryan Kelly is probably one of the best centers in the league, if not the best out there. I mean, did Marcus Pouncey retire yet? But I mean, honestly, and we already know Alex Mack just retired recently in the San Francisco, so they're trying to figure out what they're doing there. But either way, I'm really, I see this as significant. But I still, they got to run the ball. They're not going to give Brady, all 500, throws again. So I thought, why not in this case? Here's another guy that I wanted to talk about real quick that you actually just picked up and we were actually talking about before you came on is Cam Akers. Now you have Cam Akers as your 8th running back in your rankings. Me and Rasa have nowhere even close. I think we're at 17, and I think Rasa, you're at what, 20?
25 19. I got him at 19. So, but after that conversation, I did just move Lenny down to RB 13.
Yeah, I got to move. I have him at 13 already. So see, it's significant, man. I'm telling you. So I need to hear the argument on why. Why do you have Cam at that high of a ranking? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just kind of wondering why you're so high on him.
So listen, I think Cam Akers is a fantastic running back, and obviously the injury completely wiped it out. And listen, he came back last year and did not look good, which I totally get. I understand that, and that's but what was important to me was that he came back and he didn't want to play with limitations. And now he's been working out and getting himself, back and ready for this year. Again, it's about, this is all about scheme one more time, right? Kevin O'Connell goes to Minnesota. Sean McVay's still in charge there, but he promotes Liam Cohen to offensive coordinator. And one of the things that Liam Cohen was tasked with actually, and he helped out the most with last season, was the Rams were lining up in a lot of wide zone formations, right? And so, and this is all like this wasn't even when Akers was back playing. It was like really early on in the season, and they were running, a lot of wide zone formation there. And what happened was defenses started to close in on that again, and they started to take that away from them. Now, having Matt Stafford obviously helps out because you're throwing the ball. You've got somebody who's got a quick release and can deal with that, but you still want to try and be able to run that wide zone. The Rams, what they did though was they started to incorporate the inside running, a little bit more power gap blocking in there as well, and started using those inside lanes a lot more. Remember those games that Sony Michel had last year?
Oh yeah,
right.
Those were
towards
great.
The end, everybody was like, "Where?"
I'm surprised they didn't keep him. To be completely honest, I thought they were going to just keep the 3.
Let me ask you a quick question here: is this PG-13? Is this?
Oh, you can go anywhere you want, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so where the fuck did Sony Michel come from, right?
Exactly.
It's bone on bone. Nobody wants to deal with this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. He's suddenly a superstar because they're running these inside zone runs when everybody's been playing to the outside or now playing the pass because it's Stafford. And one of those things that Liam Cohen wants to now do is he wants to incorporate the inside zone run a lot more, and he wants to balance out this offense. And just be a little bit more, just less predictable. You just knew, like, if the Rams were not going to the outside, all right, then it was over the middle to Cooper Kupp. Like, I mean, that was their bread and butter. And so Cohen wants to transform this a little more, and I think that's going to cater a lot more to Cam Akers. And I think that, listen, I'm not saying he's going to turn into this 18 to 20 touch, a game guy, but he's going to start seeing the ball a bunch more. And here's another situation where they use the pass to set up the run. Let him just eat that clock in the second half and just run the ball. But insane.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Ross.
I was gonna say, no, I want to ask now. Everything you're telling me there almost makes me like Hendo a little more way later. Do you think Cam Akers, obviously with the injury risk and his size, with that inside zone scheme, like, is that more favorable to a runner like Henderson versus Akers?
I mean, is it more favorable for him? I don't know if it's more favorable for him. I think that, you look at, Henderson's a guy who I don't think it favors him between the tackles at all. I think he's a better pass catcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're both good with their hands. I've never really seen them not be good pass catchers, either one of them. I mean,
well, to be a Rams running back, you pretty much have to have hands,
have
right?
to. And I mean, honestly, the first play that Cam Akers had coming back was a fucking 20-yard like wheel route that he caught on a dive. So, I mean, honestly, I'm God damn you, Wilson. Takes exactly what I'm looking for. I've been pretty the one thing that's kind of holding me back is what we just talked about in the same just on a different team is the line. Andrew Whitworth was a huge part of that line on the left side. It wasn't the middle, it was more on the left, and he still was a big part of that line. And then they lost
don't forget
Corbett.
your pick.
I got you. Okay. They lost Corbett on the left guard as well. So they've had a couple of issues with the line they're significant. I mean, Whitworth got hurt near the end of the year, so they did have, who I don't remember off the top of my head who it was, so forgive me for that. But they had someone fill in for him on the left side for a couple games and was serviceable. I'm not saying that he can't be. But that's a huge part. Like, he's a Pro Bowl guy, almost 13th. No, he's been in the league almost 20 years. He's a fortified part of that line. So it gives me a little bit of hesitation when it comes to someone like Cam Akers, who I like in a keeper league that I have him in the 18th round. I don't know if I should keep him. I have Joe Mixon at the 210. Do I keep him over, or do I keep Stephon Diggs at the 5-1? I have two choices here, and I've automatically just taken Cam out of the equation and I'm going to be sticking with, Mixon and Diggs because they're my best options, I feel. So,
I mean, they're premium players. I mean,
yeah,
you're not getting as big of a bargain of it than,
true.
I mean, there's certainly nothing, there's nothing wrong with taking that route. And it's, obviously, it's my call basically for Akers is a little bit more, risky and a little bit more bullish than most people, which, am I right? I think I'm right, but do I know for sure? No.
We'll know at the end of the season.
Right? Exactly.
The best part is we get to go for the ride.
Yeah, honestly.
Talk to me in December when we're like gearing up for the playoffs.
Right? So actually, I wanted to circle back to the Denver Broncos real quick because we were talking about them and how good their offense is, and I know that we consistently. This is the big question that everyone has.
Hey, get back to Rafi's question, or is that what it is?
Oh, wait, was it Rafi's question?
Kind of. The whole Judy Sutton. Is that where you were going?
Oh, I was going to go. Yeah. So
okay.
I was going to basically go into it's a big discussion. Judy, Sutton, Patrick. There's all three of them there. I'm going to put all three of them in there because they all deserve to be in there. So if you were to put it in your, because I didn't go all the way down your rankings. I only looked at the top 10 to kind of get an idea. I can bring it up anytime. But I was curious how you feel about the Sutton, Judy, Patrick thing. I'm assuming that it's one of those scenarios that you would prefer the price, but at the same time, you don't mind the talent. So I'm just curious, who do you like the order that you would pick it in?
I kind of think that, in all honesty, sorry, I'm just gonna make
your pick, brother.
Quick pick here. Well, it's like an oddball section for receivers here, but
yeah, that's why I just went QB. Like I just went. Yeah. Everyone was going right. I'm going left.
That's back-to-back picks where I've gotten a wow from Sleeper. Man, this is great.
I turned that thing off years ago.
I didn't even know that there were sound effects there.
It's the most annoying.
I just kind of got turned on to Sleeper, and I'll just say this, right? I have nothing to do with their company or anything. I don't even know the guys who run this company. But without a doubt, they obviously have one of the best customer service departments in the world because the people who love Sleeper really love Sleeper. Like they'll die on any hill.
Yeah, they'll fight. They'll fight people for it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I mean, I kind of have to. I got to give it up for them a little bit, right?
Nice. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny. 4 years ago, something like that. I remember my friend. He texted me something about some injury. I forgot who it was off the top of my head. And I was like, there's no way. I haven't heard anything. And I'm looking through all my sources, looking through everything I had at the time. And he told me like he knew before I did. I'm like, there's no way. No way. And at the time I thought so too. I'm like, holy crap. And then I found out like 10 minutes later. So I'm like, okay. And he tried to pull a fast one on me. I didn't go for it. And for like a full year, he had Sleeper and didn't tell anybody about it. Then I finally found out what it was. And I finally figured out before, this was in their early stages too. And I was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. And I got into it. And I now found a site that's faster than him that I've been using that I try to get on him about. And I'll try to tell him about news ahead of time. And he's like, no, that didn't happen. I'm like, yeah, it did. So it's actually, I've always been a big fan of Sleeper. They've done a lot to upgrade a lot of things. We're not even a spokesman because we can't be because footballers took over that. But they are one of the best platforms that I've used other than Yahoo. And, they're just, I can't say anything, I can't say anything bad, honestly.
I can. It glitches a little bit, but hey.
The glitches for the mocks is one thing.
Just so we're not all kumbaya over here. I gotta throw a little negative in there. It does glitch, man. I hate when you get auto picked when you're in there. You can't pop in and out of it. But again, they'll fix it, man. They're all over it, so it's all good.
And MFL's good. It's just they're a little I like MFL because of the concept that you have the ability to literally customize any league you want. And I'm in a salary cap dynasty league that is probably one of my favorite formats that I've ever played, that I enjoy more than anything in this world right now. because I'm doing well in it. So, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll take it. Like I really like that league. So I don't care. I'll talk. I want to be positive about them.
It is.
And that's just that. And now
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't care.
take. Now I'm gonna take who?
Yeah, who you grabbing now?
Oh no. I'm in a spot. And I don't like where I am.
What up, damn boys? One of
Honestly,
our OGs, original subscribers.
Oh, he
How's
just
it
landed.
going?
Nice.
Yeah, back from Dallas and then throws on the stream. We love it. Hardcore to the fullest. Enjoy the show, my brother, while you're getting all your stuff together and unpacking, man. Friday night.
This is my least favorite part in drafts and like in this particular quote unquote dead zone of like running backs and like wide receivers. I just can never find the guy I want in this area.
It's because I reached for Gabe Davis.
And you reached for Gabe Davis because I would have taken
Just
Gabe
tell
Davis.
him why.
Yeah,
Just tell him.
Howard, I drive the Gabe Davis like hype train. Yeah. No, I'm literally the driver. I have the stupid hat. I do the whole thing. And it is I don't know. I am on board with Gabe Davis. I feel and it has nothing to do with the 4 touchdown game. That's just a really good like thing to look at. But honestly, he is a very talented receiver for the last 2 years that he's been there before all this. I think he has the ability to take this role and just run with it. I mean, not a ton of vacated targets, which is completely okay, but he's replacing guys like Cole Beasley and, Emmanuel Sanders. I think that's plenty for him to, be able to take and run with. I think Knox is a great option, but at the same time, he's not like a possession tight end. So, like for me, I prefer a guy like Schultz just because he's safe. Like I'm a safe guy. I don't, me and Ross are completely different in the context of how we think. We actually talked about this before. I'm more consistent. I like going with
first to last for me.
Yeah. So
as you can tell by my build I have going right here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like my perfect. Like if you could just sum me up in a draft, like wouldn't you say this is kind of pretty much it? Just all boom, and if they fail, they fail. Like it's just rock bottom kind of guys.
So Howard, how are you?
What do you guys think of Jameson Crowder as the new slot guy in Buffalo?
Love it.
Oh, I love it.
Him and McKenzie. I want a piece of one of them. Like I want one of them if I can.
I don't care what receiver it is. I'm even high on McKenzie too. Like, but he's one of those like last pick guys. For McKenzie, and that's even like best ball, like I'll take him in best ball over redraft for McKenzie, but Crowder, I am fine with. I mean, he's just the same. He's literally the same version of Cole Beasley. Like he is literally Cole Beasley light. Like he has the ability to play that slot role without a problem. Gabe Davis can play the outside and roll in, to the slot too. They built that lineup. I'm big on this guy. I'm going to reach for him. I don't really care. Is Devin Singletary. Like this guy, I understand he has some competition with James Cook. I understand that they brought him in, blah, blah, blah. You have, Zach Moss, who was there last year too. I don't care. Like they built the lineup, brought in probably one of, if not the best left guard. No, you know what? I'm going to call him the second best because to be honest, Quentin Nelson is the best. And I'm not even going to have that conversation. I'm not even going to have anyone else try to argue that. So you have Roger Saffold, who is probably the second best left guard in the game, going in to that team, to that particular line. Now I know we're going to continue to beat this O-line drum. My brother played O-line in college. He played for, Stony Brook.
A right guard here too, man.
That's where it's at. Seawolves.
Yeah, he's a Seawolf. Played guard, or he plays guard in his flag football. Like he's always beat the line on the O-line. And honestly, Roger Saffold has opened up many of holes in the run game for guys like, Derrick Henry and other guys like when he was on the Rams. Like he has done a fantastic job and will continue to do that. And I feel just because also Devin Singletary is a very, very talented running back. I feel like he will do great. I don't mind reaching for him here. It's a tad of a reach, but I don't want anyone else having him. Like I don't care about Miles Sanders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the whole. I'll ask you another question there, Howard. So how do you feel about the Patriots and their running back situation?
Oh, well, God, didn't you see the news today?
Yeah, that's my whole point.
He's the new number one, right? I mean, so, forget all shares of Damian Harris. You just, you leave him. I'll take him in. I'll take him in, in like the 15th round. I'm sorry. I'll just, you leave him for dead there. When was the last time anybody successfully predicted anything that Bill Belichick was going to do?
Fair
right?
point.
I mean, come on. Like, it's
for all we know, it'll be Pierre Strong.
Yeah.
Right. There's another one right there. Like, I mean, James White's got the bum hip. Is, Pierre Strong, is Bill Belichick going to finally love on a rookie? Well, who the hell knows? I mean, it's, it's just, it's so funny, man. When you get like, and I say this to people on the air all the time. I'm like, know where your information's coming from. Is it coming from a coach? Is it coming from the player himself? Or is it coming from a beat writer who's just sitting there, who is so desperate for training camp to start that he's pretty much willing to, write, 1,500 words on the fact that, Elijah Moore took a poop the other day and it actually was green, right? I mean, that's what you're looking at with beat writers right now for the NFL. It's really, it's depressing. It's because what's been going on over the last several years, obviously with football, is that the beat writers have really turned into a mouthpiece for the team, right?
Agreed.
And the reason that they're doing this now is because the coaches have the right to kick anybody out of the clubhouse and not allow them into the media room. And all of a sudden, you had to start kissing ass and started to have to like write nice things about the team and stuff like that. It was not last year, maybe the year before, when we were looking at it was the 49ers
last year. Yep.
Right. And they said, Shanahan told the beat writers not to write about JaMychal Hasty because he wanted to use him this week against somebody. And I was like, what happened to freaking journalistic integrity of any sort? I mean, it's just was mind-boggling. Wow, I guess got another wow.
Yeah, and it's really not a wow because this guy has been climbing up everybody's draft board. And then for those who can't see it that well, it's Allen Lazard from the Green Bay Packers. I mean, he's on everybody's board. I mean, we had
wide
Dave
receiver
Kluge.
33 for me.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot where I have him for me, but I mean, honestly, Dave Kluge. I mean, we had him on a couple of weeks ago. He's planting his flag right now in Lazard. Like that is his guy. And I mean, I hope he's right. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, I think he's right in the context that, Pro Bowl wise, or not Pro Bowl, sorry. Just for the whole Green Bay Packer offense, he's the only guy that knows Aaron Rodgers. And we're going to stick to this narrative that he only throws or only likes to throw to the guys he knows. Well, Lazard's been there the longest. So I just don't see, like, Sammy Watkins came to practice today and I was like, who cares? Like, what?
Oh, come on. Sammy's great for like week 1 DFS.
Yeah, I know. Week 1 DFS for Kansas City.
That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need Sammy for. You need it for one game.
Yeah, but I agree. I can't stand when people are talking about him. This kid they keep talking about with Christian Watson and the context of, he's raw, he's talented. They have this other guy who the other guy is Dobbs, I think it is, or I forgot.
Romeo Dobbs, the rookie.
Yeah, I mean, they have him too. They think he's the most pro-ready, receiver for them. So they got a lot of options. It's just which one does, Rodgers trust more? And, at this point, it looks like it will be Lazard, and volume is key. Volume is king in this game. So, I can definitely see a road where he actually goes well. Another pick that you had was Juju. Now I'm right on there with you. Me and Juju, I'm on board. So I'm assuming that you feel that Juju's going to be the top guy in this offense. How do you kind of go with this one? Because there's so many of these teams that have these wide receiver, situations. In this case for Juju, how do you feel about that one?
For me, yeah, it's interesting trying to sort it all out. I feel like
I like that.
Juju's going to be the target leader.
Okay.
Out of this group, I think they're going to line up Juju. You're going to have Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the Z receiver. He's going to stretch the field. He's going to take all those deep routes. And then I think you're going to have Juju Smith-Schuster and Mecole Hardman kind of moving in from the inside, from the X receiver to the slot receiver spot, and have the and the two of them sort of be kind of an interchangeable way. So I feel like Juju's the guy who's going to see the majority of the work as the
Rasta
X
on the clock,
and probably get some. He's going to run out. 10. Not
there. He is.
I got it.
So you
got
think
72 receivers. So yeah, you might as well take the guy who's going to miss the first 6 games.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that was the whole thought process behind that. I was like, I punted RB2 so far now. I'm not grabbing any of these guys here. So I'm going to take another Hail Mary swing and maybe trade into RB2.
I'm trying to remember I don't know if it was you or Jeff Mance that I was listening to this afternoon while I was driving, and they were saying the exact same thing about the concept of drafting DeAndre Hopkins at this point in a draft, because you got so many. Why not? You're going to have them in week 6 to kind of back you up after everything. God forbid one of them goes down, one of your 4 other guys goes down. You got this guy to back you up as an extra guy. So I like that move for you there, Rasta.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough spot though. I mean, as far as eating a bench spot early in the season, right? For 6 weeks, because I don't think any league should allow you to put DeAndre Hopkins or any suspended player onto your IR. I'm sure ESPN will allow you to do it, right?
I think MFL allows suspended players for their IR. I know Yahoo doesn't. I know that Sleeper doesn't. No, Sleeper.
Yahoo
doesn't.
has this setting. They actually have updated their settings where you can decide what players are eligible for IR now.
Okay.
So they have a couple different, designations, so you can kind of get around some of those things now. But yeah, I mean, I just leaned so far. There's a couple guys here that I see that I can kind of just maybe still just kind of. It's not going to be pretty, but still get by here. So we'll see who falls to me. Everyone's going to take. I did not expect those 5 running backs to go after Burks. Like I did not expect. I thought I would get one of them. So that's what really messed me up, because I was happy with literally, at least 4 of the 5. Not that great on Robinson, but same reason I took Hopkins, same reason why you can take Robinson, because you're so built, RB heavy up top. You can take that risk, But one of those 4 I would have been happy with either of those guys as an RB2 when it considered stealing this draft at that point for me. But yeah, that I did not expect the 4 RBs to go there between 2 teams. Should have paid attention a little more to their builds. Got to pay attention, guys. That's why we mock.
Yeah. Well, mock. For sure. I mean, this is the best tool to, get you ready for your drafts, come end of August. Or August, doesn't matter where you go. Hopefully your drafts are set for the end of August, so that you can get through those preseason games. I mean, if you really think about it, next week I
like playing Russian roulette.
Next week we get crap football next week with 3rd team guys. I'm excited. I don't give a crap. Like I'm excited to have some type of football next week. Like I don't even care. Like what is it? Raiders and Cowboys? Like let's go. Like I'm excited.
I'll take anything. Yeah, I just want 2 teams playing against each other here soon.
Yeah.
Rafi's in here saying I'm growing quite a bit on Edmonds lately. Howard, your thoughts on Edmonds?
Yeah, I think Edmonds is the guy who comes out on top in the backfield. Like I know Mostert's there, and Mostert and McDaniel have the the connection from San Francisco, and so I think that Mostert will probably see Mostert and Edmonds will probably see the bulk of the work, just the 2 of them, even before splashing in Sony Michel, because the scheme just dictates a lot more outside zone work anyway. I think it's just a matter of the fact that Raheem Mostert never stays healthy.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I love him. And he's a fantastic guy when he's healthy, but he's just not healthy. So, here's Edmonds, a guy who finally escape that crap air raid offensive system that they're running in Arizona, right? I mean, it's just, you might as well just ignore the running backs unless you're James Conner. And but Conner, for a while it wasn't, Conner's not a guy who's racking up points via yardage. Conner's racking up points because of the short touchdowns that he's doing. So, Edmonds finally gets out of it. And Edmonds, I mean, think about Edmonds inside, that San Francisco system that Mostert was running in. Now they're doing that in Miami. I like it a lot, and I've been actually pretty bullish on Edmonds. I've got him in a number of spots already.
Nice. I love it. I mean, I've been high on that offense in general. I mean, they did so much to fortify that particular offensive line. They did it to build up the weapons. I mean, it's the same thing as the Giants did. And honestly, it basically, to me, shows that at this point for both Tua and, I mean, Jones a little bit more than Tua. But this is the year of no excuses for them. Like, this is where they need to show what they have. I mean, you built that line, you brought in, Tyron Armstead, you brought in, Connor Williams to the left side, and you're getting to the point where you need to understand, like, this is where you need to make good plays and use guys like Chase Edmonds and, use guys like Raheem Mostert if he can stay healthy. And then, they kind of have some backup insurance with, Myles Gaskin and Sony Michel, which more than likely they're going to be using Sony Michel. I mean, I don't see where they don't. It's kind of sad. I had my flagging in Myles Gaskin last year, and it didn't work out for me. So hopefully, it's a little sad to see, him and Adam Troutman just. Sad.
Troutman, yeah, that injury crushed him. He was going to have some nice value.
He was going to have it, and news that happened today. Apparently, Taysom Hill is going to be out indefinitely with a rib injury that he suffered in practice. So we'll see now.
Troutman horn again.
It might be Troutman.
Yeah. Fire her up again.
I'm not even gonna.
So who's FFT AJ in your room here?
Nice.
Yeah. So shout out to AJ. Yeah, he's in another league we have. We've met up with him. He has his own podcast out there as well. On the Variety Sports Network. So he's a good kid, and we're just starting to connect with him.
Nice. I was looking at the board and seeing him saying, Gibson at RB26. I think he finishes top 20. I think this is probably the furthest I've seen Gibson actually fall. Right, 6th round. I'm actually kind of surprised, but I mean, I don't hate watching him fall. I'm curious as to what he's got. What he thinks of Gibson. What do you guys think of Gibson? Because I'm down on Gibson. I'm not a fan at all.
No way in hell am I touching him with a 10-foot pole. They have done everything to basically say that he's no longer going to be a running back there. I mean, they were like, oh, we love Brian Robinson because he can he's a hard running power guy that can really run the ball well. And then they go, oh, we also have Jared Peterson. He can do the same exact thing. Oh, we have McKissick, who's also really good at catching the ball. Oh, yeah. Gibson. Yeah, he's okay. It just, you don't feel anything coming from Ron Rivera. Rivera, I know. And this is, so Gibson is essentially Rasta's Myles Gaskin. Like, that's the guy. Like, big on gas, Rasta is the biggest one.
I thought he was the next
Gibson.
McCaffrey coming in. Yeah. I mean, I thought he was the next baby McCaffrey. So
right,
I was riding that train.
And they used him. They didn't use him in the weirdest. Like, he was a wide receiver in college. He was playing that hybrid role, and then you don't throw to him at all.
Yeah, then they make him a 1st and 2nd down back. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, well, his pass
unless he's terrible.
Was a little,
yeah. His pass blocking is horrible.
Still, they just taken every opportunity away from him to excel, or at least try to excel.
And the injuries didn't help either. I mean, he literally had a hairline fracture in his shin for the whole year.
Still finished like RB6.
Granted, no, I thought he finished at like 10 or 12.
He finished RB1. let's say.
At the same time, all they did was draft another running back and bring, and
a
make
short
sure that
yardage guy too, right? Like,
yeah.
hey, we don't like the way Gibson goes between the tackles when we're down at the goal line, and we don't like the way so we draft Robinson, and we don't like the way he pass blocks or anything like that.
So we'll pick up Patterson.
we're gonna match this offer sheet from Buffalo.
Yeah, that was the other thing about McKissick, is that they were looking to match the sheet. So I mean, they clearly aren't wanting to use them, or at least use a committee that he's only going to get a limited amount of carries. Like Christian McCaffrey, like that's another thing with me and Christian McCaffrey. Like I know Ant's high on him. It's his number one. For me, I feel like they're going to be.
He's the cheat code, man. He's the cheat code.
I get it, but for their system, I feel like this year they brought in Deontay Foreman, who is a hell of a runner, who did real well last year with Derrick Henry out, and carried that ball. I just think, I honestly think they're gonna pull back his carries, because honestly, they've seen what he can do with a. I mean, he was literally what was he, like 40% of their offense when he was actually healthy, and then they gave him that the next season and he crumbled. So I feel like they're going to kind of pull him back a little bit, use Foreman a little bit more to kind of spread everything out a bit. I'm not saying that it's going to hurt him. I mean, they do the same thing with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was running back 3 last year, and they took him out on third down, like on almost every play. And I sat there.
They're not
and I'm
taking McCaffrey off the field on third down.
I agree.
Happening. They're not taking him off.
I'm not
2 minutes.
saying
they're not taking him off on goal line.
I know that.
So he takes away some of those, in between the 40s carries.
Agreed.
Let Foreman have them. Let Chuba have those.
No,
I'll take
Chuba Hubbard's not touching the field this year. Unless one of them goes down, it's not happening. I mean, that was a great experiment. I thought he did well at the end of the season.
Down soon, so don't worry.
Fair point. He was injury prone before he even came to Tennessee, so I can completely understand that. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure this out. So I mean, Howard, when you look at or hear about, we were talking about before with Camp Speak and the whole thing with reporters and all that fun stuff. Who do you trust more in this particular situation? I'm assuming you trust the coach a little more, but who is someone who's someone that you respect that you would trust in this particular realm?
As far as like opinions on players?
Yeah, players or on the coach. Is it?
Do you trust coach speak or reporter speak?
Yeah.
No. I trust what the coach says. I work alongside Jim Bowden, who I mean, he's fully connected to all of the GMs in MLB, and and so I hear everything from that side.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I mean, even to a certain extent, like we knew all about Kenny Colbert leaving Pittsburgh.
Wow.
As the GM there before, like way before, because Bowden knows him. And so, I hear what the coaches and the GMs say about the beat writers and about the stuff that's going out on the air. There's like a whole thing going on. There's like a big dust up with all the Mike Trout information, not to go to baseball.
No,
but like,
fine.
Mike Trout has a back injury that's
I heard about that.
Cripple his career and stuff like that. And they went nuts. Is it Perry Manasian over there? No, Manasian's not over there. And maybe it is Manasian in for the Angels now.
I could not tell you. I am literally 100% into football.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying. So the GM was like, he went bonkers because he was like, "Where the fuck did this information come from? Who brought that up?" So now the question is he mad because it's really true, or is he mad because it's a lie? So I get that whole thing. So I never trust the beat writer. I never trust the beat writer.
So I mean, I don't disagree with you, because I don't. This is my first time being a little bit more into like the Twitter world. I just got into it. I literally signed on to Twitter no more than like 3 weeks ago.
It's a cesspool.
Yeah, it really, really is. I mean, we're seeing some of that now, which I am currently in the middle of taking care of. But yeah, no, completely agree. And that's my whole thing is that, I want to find the best source like anybody else. And, I've been trying to at least keep myself, uh, I want to keep myself ahead. And I think a lot of our listeners and a lot of the people that do this and a lot of your listeners too, that want to be on top of that. And that's why they listen to us. And that's why they listen to, their beat reporters or people that they trust. Is there anybody that you do trust as a quote unquote beat reporter that is, out there that you might follow, or someone that, you see as, a good reporter?
No,
No?
I
Perfect.
really, it's so funny. It's so funny. I stopped looking at beat writer names.
Okay.
I really did. Like, okay, so this is a report coming from the Dallas Morning News, or this is a report coming from, from out of Akron, whatever. I look at that. I'm at the point now where I just don't care who the writer is. Like, I
Okay.
really don't. Like, I mean, I can't say that. No, you know what? Craig Mesh. How about that? Craig Mesh.
Okay.
Who writes for the Miami Herald, and he's, very well connected in with the Dolphins organization for football, and, and for the Marlins for baseball. Like, that's a guy who, when he gives you information, then you know that it's definitely like accurate information.
No,
Like,
that's awesome.
I don't worry about him like making up stories to try and,
Get
make a name
writers.
for himself.
No, and that's great to hear. I mean, and that's where I was kind of going with it, is because I've kind of been dabbling a little bit trying to find the right people. I listen to a lot of like your shows. I listen to a lot of the other shows on Sirius XM too, and they always bring on really good beat writers and really good guys to come on and give us a good look into camp and the team and stuff like that. Me being a Giants fan, of course, I'm a little more into my Giants. And one guy I follow a lot is Patrick Leonard, I think his name, or Pat Leonard, who I've seen only good things coming from him. So he's one of the guys that I've been following lately. So following Giants camp, I mean that's what's been a big talk in my world, at least, showing Kadarius Toney out there doing his thing with Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, apparently he's running with the ones instead of guys like Darius Slayton, who's supposed to be running with the ones. So how do you feel about this Giants team, especially the wide receiver group? We already kind of have an idea about Barkley. But the wide receiver group, how do you break them down with Sterling Shepard in there, Wan'Dale Robinson,
Is
Toney?
Sterling Shepard
Yeah, I was gonna. You saw me shake my
He's
head,
there.
right? I was like, nah,
He's sitting there.
And here I've got one Dolly Robinson. He's in my pocket right now. Let me pull him out, right? Because he's so little. He's so
He really
little.
is.
Is he like, what is he? Is he 4'9"?
Nah, he's
4'10"?
5'8"
and a half. Right?
5'8" and a half.
Right. You know when they start throwing in the half, right? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm 21 3/4 years old and I'm 5'8" and a half. I mean, listen, for what they want to do there in New York, I think it's totally fine. Like, I think this offense, it actually favors guys like Kadarius Toney and one Dolly Robinson. It really does. Because you're looking at those those short, quick, high percentage passes. Dayball's going to want to do that. He's going to want to move the chains that way. He's going to want to do a lot of screen passes to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to end up, he's going to use Kenny Golladay as the guy who stretches the field, who's, going to, do the deep shots. But I feel like the Giants receivers, like, you got Golladay, who's going to be your deep threat. And then everybody else seems to be pretty interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
Like Shepard, Robinson, Kadarius Toney. They can all kind of, inside in the slot. They can move to the outside if they need to. So yeah, I'm not really that bullish on it. Give me this offense after, in year 2 or year 3 of Brian Daboll, because I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but it's definitely trending in the right direction.
No, I love it. I mean,
Ooh, love chat. XYZ is messaging me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was like, I think I got it blocked, so we'll see how that goes.
I tried blocking it too.
You guys are no fun.
I mean,
hey, it is Friday night.
What's a couple of eggplant emojis among friends?
Good point.
Love it.
So, I mean, we were talking off air before, and I heard what you told us was you were a big Jets fan, and I'm kind of wondering how you feel out there as well for your team, and the whole situation going on with Breece Hall, and coming in, you guys trading up for him, even though you guys got a guy like Mike Carter. How are you feeling about the team this year, and how just all their weapons in general? I mean, I'm very high on Elijah Moore. I'm high on the two running backs in general. How do you feel about this team this year?
I think it's a strong work in progress as well. Right? I think they're a few steps ahead of the Giants. I firmly believe that because I think Zach Wilson learned a lot, and Zach Wilson's going to benefit greatly from just staying with the same scheme for the first 2 seasons of his career in the NFL. How many times do we see these poor young quarterbacks have to learn new schemes and new playbooks, 3 out of the first 4 years? It's such a hassle. So I think it's going to be, pretty good there. I like the addition of Breece Hall. I think that Breece Hall can be an every down back. When the Jets made the draft, so I've been very happy with the way Joe Douglas has run the last 2 drafts, right? I think that the Jets have made some fantastic moves, and they've made some, great picks. The one thing that I would have done differently, because the year they didn't have that second round pick, and they ended up taking Elijah Moore in the 3rd round there.
Yeah, I think he was 3rd.
And then they took Carter in round 5.
Yeah, I think he was 5 or 6. He was definitely later.
Said that I would have preferred that the Jets took Javonte Williams in the 3rd round, because he was still there, right? Or no.
It's been a minute.
It really has been a minute, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm a heavy weed smoker, so sometimes the brain cells are trying to regenerate. It's a problem sometimes, but so I just remember distinctly, the Jets had the opportunity to take Javonte Williams and could have taken some other receiver later on, but instead they went and they took Elijah Moore, and then they took Michael Carter later. And Michael Carter to me is just he's a 3rd down back. He was, he was that role with Javonte at North Carolina. So, I think Breece Hall has the capability of surpassing Carter. I think Carter will still have a minor role eventually, but it'll start with him having more work than he probably should. Okay. The weapons are solid. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore. I'm perfectly fine with that. They still need to build that receiving core, but again, it's a work in progress. It's moving in the right direction. It blows me away that the Jets actually have guys who are fantasy worthy.
Yeah.
Right. It's been so long since we've had that.
Hey man, the one
I feel about my Niners.
What are you talking about? Your Niners are a quality team.
You guys went to the playoffs last year. And
no, that's what I said. That's what I said. That's how I feel about my Niners. We've finally been relevant these last couple of years. So it's been nice to be able to actually maybe have a guy on your team.
See, now, all right. I guess we're gonna have to.
Yeah, backed up.
I guess we're gonna have to play the age game here. All right. Rasta, how old are you?
I'll be 38, man. I'm up there.
Okay, so what year were you born?
84.
84.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, when the 49ers were winning their Super Bowls, how are you doing there? How are you feeling? Were you feeling pretty good? Were you enjoying yourself?
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, you had a good time.
It was great.
Were you a big Joe Montana guy?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player back then?
Oh, of course, Jerry Rice. I mean, come on.
Oh, you mean Hall of Famer, Pro Bowler Jerry Rice, who helped you guys win Super Bowls? Is that what that was like?
Of course.
How was that like since
the Jets won the Super Bowl the year before I was born?
Oh, Jesus.
Man.
The year before. And then Joe Namath goes and he sells his soul to the devil. And the devil says to him, Joe, I'll give you this game, but the Jets will never win another Super Bowl while you are alive. And Joe was like, dude, I'm cool with that. That's good.
I'm good.
Fine. Let me wrap myself in some freaking pantyhose and we're good. Yeah. And so that's what happened. And now Joe, who like pickled himself, right? And has leathered his skin in the sun, has preserved himself to the point where Joe Namath is going to live to 178 years old.
Yeah.
And I will never in my life witness the Jets winning the Super Bowl. So a little respect, please, Rasta.
All right. I apologize. I guess so, but I was like, these last two Super Bowls, man, and this NFC Championship stung a little bit, man. I mean, it was some brutal times there recently.
Come on, man. And see, I'm one of those guys with Howard there. Like, I know I'm a Giants fan. We won 4, but at the same time,
hold on, end the conversation right there. End thread. Drop the mic.
All I'm trying to say is I'm with you, brother.
I've won 4 Super Bowls since I've been alive.
But I know the pain of having crap. Like the beyond Eli being who he was.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, at least
you don't know nothing.
And I was alive for all of them too.
How do you even enjoy football?
I was at the AFC Championship game in Denver.
Oh my God.
And we were up 6-3 at the end of the first half, and we lost.
Oh Jesus! I just that's tough. Yeah, we can't speak, and
apologize.
then Dustin and Frank can't say anything either. They're Dallas fans. They can't do anything. I mean, we need to find somebody that's like a Jacksonville Jaguar or like a someone that's or better yet a Detroit Lion fan or maybe a Buffalo Bills fan. We need to definitely a Buffalo Bills fan. Getting there 4 times and losing.
I want to go to Bills Mafia and be like, hey, Scott Norwood, man.
Oh my God. They'll
kill you.
I still love the joke of, if you've heard about Scott Norwood killing himself. Oh, wait, he didn't. He missed, far left. I butchered that one. It's fine. But either way, we had a question here from Ray. He was wondering.
That's what I wanted next.
I know you're good, brother. I can read your mind. So how do you guys decide position limits on a 12-team best ball league? So, I mean, for me, it's usually, for Underdog, it's usually 18. They go 18 rounds. It's usually the 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Is it usually, or no, they don't use do they use the flex?
Yeah, it's 1 flex, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. Yeah.
So they do about 18 rounds, doing it with 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, the tight end and the flex. So ultimately that's probably your best bet. I mean, you can pretty much set it up any way you want. Otherwise, my opinion, I like it going deep. Like I don't mind going 25 each. Just because you can pick off the lower guys at the bottom. Howard, but what about yourself? How do you feel about that?
For 12-team best ball?
Yeah.
I mean, I just, I usually go with 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. If I want to skip the old kicker defense sort of a thing, I'll do multiple flex spots. I'll do, like 2 or 3 flex spots in there.
Ooh,
just to kind of make up that difference. Yeah, I mean, standard 20 rounds is usually your best bet.
Yeah. That sounds about right. You know what we should do? A best ball kicker league. I want to do it now.
Ooh,
that would be so much fun.
You'll be playing with yourself, and you.
Yeah, I know, me, myself, now.
He's like mock drafting all 12 teams on his own.
Hey, man, you want to know something funny? And I tell everybody, like, okay, so I have to ask. So, Howard, for you, what is your favorite type of, like, league? Super flex, 1 QB, kickers, defenses. Like, what's your ideal setup if you were to do it?
Yeah, I don't really think I have an ideal setup. I mean, I like super flex leagues. I think they're kickers' lives matter.
I love it.
That's too funny, man.
I used to kick field goals. I'm good. Hey,
I got
to root for the kicker.
So, I mean, I like super flex leagues, but I it drives me nuts the way people overrate quarterbacks in the early round. So it always just becomes a pain in the ass. I mean, might as well stop calling it a super flex and just make it a 2 QB league.
Yeah.
I think overall 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flex spots, and then I'll do a kicker and a D.
Nice.
I don't mind the kicker and the defense in there. I think you're totally fine with it, right? If they have kickers in professional football, we might as well deal with it too.
And they're the highest scoring on the field in real life. They score the most points on their team. Come on.
Well, let's not get crazy here, Mike.
They do though, but that's my whole thing. I've
not
always
all points
been a
are
fan.
created equal, Mike. Not all
I
points
agree,
are created
and it's
equal.
weird. Like, come on, you get 3 points for kicking a field goal. I want to see. It's kind of funny. They did. I saw this Sports Center thing that they did.
Yeah, but I want to see a kicker go make a tackle.
No,
or take on a 350-pound
they
lineman.
did. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, and then they get knocked out of the game. You've seen what happened to what's his name from the Steelers last year.
Nah.
Oh, Nigel Gruff is not a real person.
Oh yeah, that too.
No, it's
that's one of my favorite movies. Oh my god,
he's wiry.
Here's my thing. They did Sports Center, and they had like fans come in that did post to like the kicker's like Twitter page, and were saying, "Oh, I could have made that kick," and they brought the kid in to make the kick, and you just see them kicking it like from a 30-yard field goal, kicking it all over the place and looking like a complete fool. I want to do I love when they do that, because then you can see how hard it is to actually kick these field goals. And they were doing it without linemen coming in their face. Like, sorry, that was a really bad way to say it, but they literally were coming at them.
Yeah, we are going to be a PG-13. We're going to get shut down now, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to get shut down. It's my fault. It's all right. But my point is that they literally just, you have no one going against you, and it's one of the hardest things to do. So I don't, that's why I never understood why that actually isn't considered a harder or more points driven type thing, even though now they do fractional kicks and stuff. That's why I love being in the Scotty Fishbowl.
Oh, there you go. Nice shirt, man.
I got my shirt. Very happy. Tokyo League. Shout out. What's up, everybody?
There you go, man.
Really excited. We were the 5th fastest draft in for Scotty Fish out of 300. So, yes, praising from Archer. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
so Ray's asking again, should I limit how many players my team can get?
You limit how many players I can get. I'm not playing in your league.
I would anywhere between 20 and 25. That's what I would say.
No, I think he's talking about
like positional limits.
Positions.
Oh, position.
You can't have more than 4 running backs.
No, have fun with it. But know that if you have a good amount of people in the starting roster spot, you're gonna have to do more than that. Like, you're gonna have to go to 25, almost 30 people.
I think, I was gonna say, I think if you're doing like, the only time to me, if you need to like limit positions, is if you're doing like those high, number teams, 16, 18, 32. Like, when you get to that part, that's when you start having to limit positions. Obviously, like in a 32 league team, you would limit quarterback position to just 1. You can only draft 1 quarterback, something like that. Otherwise, let people build their teams how they want to build them.
Yeah, have fun with it. I mean, if you want to go with the 1 QB, in some leagues or in some formats, you're able to do the super flex. I don't know about, I don't think Underdog lets you anymore. I know Scotty Fish can do it, but that's because they have a different, relationship with that. I think that I don't know if Sleeper lets you do best ball. No, I think they do. I think
Sleeper has a best ball option.
No, I know. I'm saying to do like a super flex best ball. Yeah, I'm assuming they do. So
that was our Maka Champions setup.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, you can set it up to do it that way. You can set it up to do 1 QB. Pick whatever amount of positions that you feel is necessary. Just know that you should have enough depth for it. So the way I view it is, if you have 3 wide receivers, you should have the ability to have at least 6 spots for those guys at the, on top of the position guys. So he's doing a 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. That's fine. You don't have to add tight ends if you don't want to. Oh, 1 tight end. All right, there you go. Got to throw those tight. I'm a big phrasing sucks. I'm a big tight end fan, and I like having the tight end in the particular, in the positional plays. So I don't know why. I don't know why I enjoy having the tight end. Wow, this has been football is probably one of the worst phrasing, if not golf. Golf is probably right up there next to it.
It's okay, Mike. Stop
Jesus,
it.
I'm having a day.
Are you side texting that love chat XYZ still, or what's going on?
Don't tell my fiance.
You got something going on the side over there. All right, now I want to bring it back here to Wilson, saying thanks for joining us tonight, Howard. We always enjoy getting top-notch talent on our show, like yourself. So again, we appreciate it. Appreciate you, Howard, for being here, man.
Nice
this was a lot of fun. Again, AJ saying thanks for an invite, and he's saying we need to get a best ball stream going. We need to throw an Underdog one here, man. For those of you guys who don't know, we are sponsored by Underdog. Promo code Get Right. I won't go into the whole thing right now. Just underdogfantasy.com. Get in their best ball media and wait for their puppy. Hopefully they have a puppy.
I hope they have another one.
I'm dying to get in.
I'm sure with the way the other one sold out, it's coming.
Yeah. And I missed that other one for $3. I didn't even know about it until it was gone. Like that one where you could buy in for like $3 or something.
The Pomeranian.
Yeah. I didn't even get one entry in there. Like there's people.
I tried. Yeah, I wanted to do it and I just couldn't do it.
I was way too late on those. So
yeah, me too.
Anyway, underdogfantasy.com, promo code Get Right. All right. Yeah. So I don't know, Howard, if you want to maybe take a look at the screen there, maybe take a look at a couple teams maybe that you want to highlight. I kind of like how the Whisperers had it, kind of toast or roast. So I might kind of steal that from them. Maybe if you see, a team or some picks in there that you maybe a little out in the ordinary or, that you really like. While we get to that, I do just want to mention a couple people here in the Good Draft Fellas. What do you guys think of Devontae Parker being the number one?
I love Parker. Love Parker. I'm really upset when you picked up Parker. I literally added to the chat. God damn you. I wanted him on that turn.
So. There it is. But yeah, just real quick too. Just real shout out to again, FFT AJ. Make sure you go like and subscribe to their show. Shout out to B Waller, the Grizz, in here from the Nerd Huddle. Appreciate you. This is his first mock with us. In a while. We've known them for a long time, since last year, and it's his first time getting in with us. So appreciate you spending the time with us.
With his boy Tank.
Exactly. We got Tank in here as well. So again, we really appreciate you guys for coming out with us, and of course everybody else here in the draft. Flag Dog, Jake the Snake, Prado, of course Mike in here, Gus Bus. I swear to God, every time I was looking for someone, I just looked and he already picked them. And then we got Colin and Wilson as well.
If you ever want to draft, just ask Gus Bus. He will get you in a mock. He has a mock every hour. So if you need a mock, he will get you there. He's usually doing a lot of 1 QBs. But Flag gets you in there too. Flag Dog does a lot as well. And
I gotta tell you, man, I love the mock draft movement. I really do. I don't know if you guys know. So I used to run something years ago called the Mock Draft Army.
I heard bits and pieces about that. Yes.
I want to hear. Do tell.
So I used to run, I was probably like 5 or 6 mock drafts per week. And I would put half of the room was, were industry guys. And the other half of the room were, listeners, subscribers, people who just wanted to, to jump into it. But I mean, you were sitting there with Todd Zola and Chris Liss and Jeff Erickson and Jeff Mans was doing them and Ray Flowers was doing them. And so I had, I had everybody, locked in for it because it was such a valuable tool.
Yeah.
For anybody, because you weren't just, it wasn't just the fact that you could sit there and pick the brain in the chat room with these guys, right? And find out. but you were getting legitimate mock drafts, right? Everybody was in there. Everybody was making a pick. Nobody left after the 4th round or the 5th round or anything like that. So, I see an eggplant emoji.
I know,
yeah,
eggplant in
XYZ
Watch out,
again.
Mike. He's on there. See, Mike's
So
paying that
we used
$3.99 a minute.
So we used to do those, and they were just it was unbelievable. I mean, it was such a great experience, and then I just got too fucking busy to do it
I don't
anymore.
blame you, brother.
Because I mean, the lists were just, I mean, it was crazy, and just the amount of time that it took. My friend Andy Spiteri had taken it over for 2 years. But then, it was like the best ball movement just kind of wiped out mocks, and nobody wanted to do them anymore. So I love the fact that you guys do these, man. It's huge.
Nice. Yeah. And as you can see, it's home of the Friday Night Mocks, man. This is kind of how we like built our channel. What we build it around. We actually end up breaking down this whole mock. We do a whole show on Monday nights, breaking down the mocks. We do grades, do rankings, give people feedback on their construction, and just, try to help them and guide them, through the process, and, show different builds and techniques, different spots. And, it's just fun to just kind of watch the, draft order kind of change, and, guys kind of go up and down, rise and fall. So it's just a great way to just kind of stay, in tune. So, by the time you actually draft, what kind of value and what type of guys you're looking for in whichever spot. And that's kind of another tradition here, for us here on Get Right, is doing that randomized, 3 times before, so that you can be fluid. You have just moments notice to pick out a one spot and be ready to draft 30-second picks, and just, rely on that gut that you build up. So it's just kind of like, second nature. So that's what we want.
Do you guys mix up the platforms at all? Do you only use
Sleeper?
Oh no, we only use. I mean, we're not against it. It's just we only know or have Sleeper accounts for this. Our friends over at Dynasty Pylon, I know Martin has done that, where he's gone and done a mock on
all the
Sleeper, NFL.com, Yahoo, you name it. He's done one on it to show, one, how to use it, and 2, just how ADP can be a little bit different everywhere. So you got to kind of have to you got to kind of make your own, but at the same time, you got to kind of have to understand that it's different everywhere. And when you use these sites, you got to kind of put your cue in early so that you know exactly who you want to take.
Yeah, we went into that also. It was that same thing, because if you keep using the same site over and over again, the next thing you know, you're over on Yahoo for a draft.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, shit, where'd all these guys go, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's kind of in there. So if you guys do want to use other platforms, I mean, I can definitely talk to my friends over at RT Sports. Great draft board over there as well.
Awesome.
Just to mix it in every once in a while. I don't want to take anything away from Sleeper.
No,
again, Sleeper, you've got me. I'm sold. Your customer service is better than anybody.
They are good.
Sold. I'm just, it's as far as like just a helpful tool for.
No, I love it.
Absolutely.
Draft them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always something that we're looking for. I mean, I created my own draft board for my own room, for my own league. I mean, we use that for when we draft. And granted, it's not as fancy as this, but it's definitely it's always fun. But yeah, for sure, I would love to do something like that at one point. I mean, we've brought Underdog in here for best ball to do those, and those ADPs too are all over the place too. Gabe Davis is going in the 4th round. Like, as great as I love Gabe Davis, not that early. And Ray saying it perfectly here. ESPN's really bad. Like, they're probably one of the worst, because everyone gets in there for like 30 seconds and then just everyone leaves. And I think that this is the big thing. Honestly, I think that we have the one thing I love about this more than anything, and Rasta knows this better than anybody. I hate auto draft. I hate going into a room and having 4 or 5 people jump out at the 6th round after they go, oh, I'm glad I got to see these 6. I'm out of here. I get people have lives. I get people have stuff to do, whatever. But if you're going to come into a mock, understand that you're there for a mock. And this is why I love doing what we do. Literally, all these guys that we got here tonight, all these guys are big time. Like, these guys are some of the best that we've had that come out here. We want to make sure that we always have good, good squads out when we do these. And it's just always great because you get a better view of what you're looking to do for your draft and what a real draft might actually look like. So
Agreed.
always a big fan of doing anything mock related. I've been doing it since April. So
there you go. And with that said, that's going to lead me right into our
Right,
mock of champions, man. If you guys are interested in getting into this mock draft tournament, we're going to be running it for the next 4 weeks, starting on Monday. A draft every day, Monday through Thursday. The top 3 of those drafts will all compete or basically draft on Friday night in the finale. And then the top 3 of each 4 of those for the next 4 Fridays will get dropped into a best ball league and have a chance at a $50 first prize, along with some get right swag as well. So if you guys are interested, make sure you hit us up on our sleeper handles at Classic Mike, GRFN, and at Rastafarin. You guys know how to get a hold of us. It's in the description. We want drafters. You can get in there. Tell your friends, get them in here, man. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to check out last year's, you can go back and check out our playlist on YouTube. Otherwise, just hit us up. And again, all those ambassadors out there, we need people to help us run those mocks. So, hit us up and we'll get you in for a slot to run one of those mocks. And of course, there's those other perks that come along with being an ambassador as well. So
RJ just had a quick question. How do you determine the top 3 for each of those? So it's a great question. We get this all the time. It's really
it's up to us.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Subjective.
Yeah, it's all subjective. It's not based on like a projection, points, total points, anything like that. Yeah. Like basically the 4 of us from the show, myself, Mike, myself, Justin, and Frank, we will all give our top 3, or we all give our top 5 ranked drafts, and then we do a consensus top 3 out of those top 5, and that's how we come up with the top 3 there. So it's an average over the 4 of us grading them.
We do the best we can. We like to let everybody know. Yeah, we also like everybody to know we all think differently. If you guys have ever watched the show in general, we all have different thought processes on who has a better draft. Like, understand that this is all subjective. We all know and understand that some teams might look good to you, but not look good to us. It's one of those things that we want to make clear.
And we just want to have fun, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is for fun. I understand money's involved and all that fun stuff, but we're trying to have fun here. We're trying to get, we're just trying to get you guys in and trying to get you guys to have a great time. So just understand we're doing the best we can with this. And we want to make sure that we have the best people available for this. So,
I mean, that's not a bad point. You do draft the Niners anyway.
No Jets, right?
Yeah, no Jets.
Sorry, Howard.
We'll have to have Howard come in, and we'll have to have a guest judge come in. We'll have to have a guest judge come in. Maybe you can help grade our mock draft, our final. Maybe we'll have you in for that one again, Howard. We'll see what you're doing then.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot closer to the season, but schedule. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
Howard's a busy man.
Hit me up. I'm around. We'll see.
Okay.
If I'm available, absolutely. Listen, this is the job, boys. Right? Everybody needs to draft and mock and figure it all out.
And to be fair, I did draft a Jet. So Michael Carter.
Oh, you got some points then.
Yeah,
there it is.
Man. Wrong Jet.
All right. Jets. All right, man. So I guess without any further ado, man, we could go on for hours, but I want to definitely respect your time here, Howard. We really appreciate you making the time to come on here with us here at Get Right, man. It's been such an honor, such a pleasure to be able to get in this mock with you, to pick your brain, get your take instead of just arguing between the 2 of us. So it was nice to have a little referee in the middle there, but it was a lot of fun. I know Mike had a good time. I had a good time, and we hope all you guys had a good time there as well. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to chug our way and get there. We just passed 400 subscribers, trying to get our way there, man. So share the stream with your friends, have them subscribe, help support our channel, man. And we'll keep doing our best and grinding and rolling our sleeves up here.
We got some cool stuff coming up too. And don't forget about Wilson's autographed t-shirt, Kurt Warner t-shirt that he has that's, out there for you. What is it, 460 we got to get to
460 milestone.
Once we get 460, so make sure you guys are getting people out there subscribing to it. I'm going to tease a little bit that we have something else coming up. Of, you know, once we get past the 460, I'm going to start teasing something else that we have in the works. So make sure you guys continue to, you know, get people involved, let them see what we're doing.
Bring them into a mock.
Awesome.
We'll do the rest.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to, at least before we left, make sure that Howard gets, you know, anything that you're working on, anything that you guys are doing over at Sirius or on the Fantasy Alarm Show, any of that stuff.
Sirius XM, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Come over to fantasyalarm.com. Check it all out. All our shit's free right now. Like,
yeah.
Right? Free draft guide. All the content that's sitting there on the site is free right now. We do run we're running a package for DFS and when the season starts, but for right now, just come on over to Fantasy Alarm and just check everything out. Yeah, my rankings from Adam Ronis, from Jim Bowden. The articles are unbelievable. If you guys know Andrew Cooper at Coupe Fiasco on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Right, Coop's phenomenal, right? I love.
Yeah, he's a big tight end guy.
So check all that out over there and enjoy.
Awesome.
We appreciate it, Howard. And like I said, I mean, it's just an honor to have you on here, and we're glad to have you on here. Love to have you back, and we'll definitely be talking soon and seeing what we can do about getting you back here. So
right on. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Take us out.